Non-Employee Personnel Action Request Overview. The Non-Employee Personnel Action Request, known as the NEPAR, is now in an electronic format to make it easier for you to process and track the status of non-employee information. In this module, we will cover what the NEPAR is, as well as the e-NEPAR, who should use the NEPAR, how the NEPAR process works, the requirements and who approves the e-NEPAR submissions, and where you can locate additional resources such as when to use, when not to use, step-by-step instructions, sponsors' duties, health portal, e-NEPAR portal, and a Contact Us section. First, welcome to the NEPAR homepage. This website, which you can find at umc.edu/NEPAR, contains helpful information and instructions for completing the e-NEPAR form. Let's start by defining the NEPAR process and the electronic form, which is known as the e-NEPAR. What is the NEPAR? The Non-Employee Personnel Action Request, or NEPAR, is the process utilized to onboard a non-employee who will be engaged in sponsor-designated activities on a UMMC campus. So what is the e-NEPAR? The e-NEPAR is the electronic non-employee personnel action request, which is the electronic form used to onboard non-employees and is a part of the NEPAR process. The e-NEPAR form collects basic personal information about non-employees, the description of their engagement, and the status of approvals from UMMC teams that check for compliance with UMMC standards. To access this form, click the e-NEPAR portal button located at the bottom of this page. Who should use the e-NEPAR? Non-employees such as educational observers, contract workers, and research volunteers. You can find the complete list along with definitions by clicking on the When to Use link on the NEPAR website. Additionally, all non-employees must have a UMMC sponsor. The sponsor is responsible for submitting and tracking the e-NEPAR form and supervising the non-employee. The sponsor may designate a co-sponsor on each e-NEPAR form. Once designated, co-sponsors have the same visibility as sponsors and share the sponsor's duties and responsibilities. For additional sponsor information, click on Sponsors' Duties and Responsibilities. Now, how does the NEPAR work? The NEPAR process is simple and consists of 3 primary phases. Let's discuss each phase in more detail. In the first phase, the sponsor must provide the non-employee with a website and instructions for completing the e-NEPAR. The non-employee will enter basic demographic information, review the Information Technology Acceptable Use and Confidentiality Agreement Policy, complete compliance training, and then submit the e-NEPAR. The e-NEPAR is available both internally and externally at umc.edu/NEPAR so that it is easily accessible to the non-employee. Next, the sponsor is notified through email to complete and submit Part 2 of the e-NEPAR form. The sponsor may be required to submit additional documents or forms depending on the type of engagement specified. In Phase 2, the sponsor provides the non-employee instructions for completing the qualification requirements needed to obtain approval for the engagement. After all of the approvals are completed, the sponsor is notified and the non-employee is able to receive a badge and system access if requested by the sponsor. In the last phase of the e-NEPAR, the stakeholders will review the submission and complete approvals. The sponsor will receive email notifications along the way to keep them in the loop, and a final notification once all approvals are obtained. 24 hours after all approvals are obtained, the sponsor may direct the non-employee to Human Resources to pick up their badge. If system access was requested, the sponsor will receive login instructions by email. What are the requirements and who approves NEPAR submissions? The NEPAR requirements vary depending on the type, duration, and exposure of the engagement. Examples include completion of industry standard health screening, clearance by a criminal background check, and completion of UMMC compliance training. These requirements can take time, sometimes weeks, to complete, so it is important that the sponsor plans for them in advance. The sponsor has access through their sponsor portal to see what approvals are needed once an NEPAR is submitted. Things to remember about the NEPAR. The NEPAR process is made up of 3 phases, beginning with you as the sponsor sending the non-employee the NEPAR website. All non-employees must have a sponsor. As the sponsor, you must start the NEPAR process at least 2 to 3 weeks prior to the engagement to ensure completion of all requirements. Lastly, the umc.edu/NEPAR website is available both internally and externally. Additionally, you can learn more about this process by going to umc.edu/NEPAR. Again, this website contains instructions for completing the NEPAR process, a description of the types of non-employees who should use the process, and additional information for the sponsor to help them understand their role. If you have additional questions, please contact us by using the Contact Us link.